Right. And I was just watching a documentary which talked about how positive thoughts actually relax the DNA and change its ability to express itself. So I mean, we've got actually research data showing that it's actively altering our DNA,
Yeah,
which
this is the most wonderful thing nowadays, particularly with different type of methylation clocks that we have, that we could actually see real life what's happening to our DNA. So this isn't woo woo anymore. This is
Mhm.
actually, we could actually measure what's happening in our body.
So coming back to this, old programming that all of us deal with, if someone can be more aware of the tendencies and what may be causing hardships and heartaches and difficulties, symptoms in their lives, what will be some practical strategies that you think they can use to shift their mindset?
Yeah, well, that's a great question. One, I think, know who you really are. And can you get yourself to a state so calm that you know who you are? And I lead people through breathwork sessions that are basically almost kind of like psychedelic sessions, because they actually quiet down the default mode network. And in that space, you know who you are. And you get to define that. Are you love? Are you connected? Are you generous? All these things, you define your values. And I suggest, when people define those values for themselves, do it out in nature, do it after a breathwork session, do it when your brain is not in your default mode. Because otherwise, if your brain's in default mode, you're gonna make values that are from that default mode place. But when you're
Mhm.
fully relaxed and that default mode is quieted down, that's who you get to define yourself who to be. And then how do you make choices then? Well, I have an acronym called IMPACT, and it's a framework that people can use when they want to make new choices. The default mode is going to be lurking in the background, but what you can do anytime you get triggered, like you want to react towards something, or you're feeling lazy on the couch and you don't want to move, you know, each one of these triggers, the first thing you can do is pause.
Mhm.
Okay. So impact stands for I am, P is pause, A is awareness, C is choice, and T is take action. So when you feel triggered, pause. Take 10 deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you were blowing out through a straw, make sure you extend the exhale, because when you do, you activate the vagus nerve and you put yourself in states of calm. Then what you do is you have awareness. They brought up this wound of me not being enough or something like that. They brought this thing up that's living in me. Okay, I have awareness there. Choose. Okay, well, is that thought or belief real? No. What do you choose from? You choose from your I am. So once you've already defined who you are, if you're joyous, if you're connected, if you are generous, all these things, you choose from that place. And it might not be easy because you're programmed to react a certain way. But once you make that new choice over old programming, you take action there, you start to that rewiring process of towards the person that you want to be. I in my keynote, I mentioned a quote from Viktor Frankl, who's seen friends and family members tortured, but he had this to say, that between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space, there's our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and freedom. And so, no matter what's happening on the outside, we can always choose how we feel on the inside. And if we recognize that how we feel on the inside, that's our bioenergetic state and has nothing to do with the circumstances on the outside, boom, that's when your true power steps into play. And the more and more you practice this way of being, you start to shift your energetic state.